It's been a historic week in Canadian politics as the Prime Minister's number two, former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, dropped her bombshell resignation on Monday, sending ripples across the country. The resignation has led to a chorus of voices calling on Justin Trudeau to resign, and one of the loudest among them has been Conservative Leader Pierre Poilievre. On Monday, he demanded the government call an immediate election, saying it needs to be done before President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration on January 20th. Trump has threatened Canada with 25% tariffs on Canadian goods if the feds fail to crack down on drug smuggling and illegal migrants crossing the border into the U.S. Earlier today, I sat down with the Tory leader where I asked him about how he will handle Trump, Doug Ford's media blitz in the U.S., and if he can get Jagmeet Singh to support a non-confidence motion against Trudeau. Mr. Poilievre, if an election were called today and you won, would you have enough time to be prepared for Trump to take office?
Yes, because I'm already prepared. I know exactly what I want to do. We need to put Canada first. We need to counter the threat by projecting strength, and that means saying to President Trump that we will never be the 51st state. We are a strong, independent, proud nation. We also happen to be the best friend and closest neighbor to the biggest military and economic superpower the world has ever seen. President Trump has raised concerns about our border and military. We should address those concerns. We need to take back control of our border to stop drugs, guns, and illegal migration. We need to rebuild our military to secure the North. He's raised concerns about the issue of our state trade surplus, and what I would say to President Trump is that's almost entirely oil and gas. And if anyone's getting ripped off on that deal, it's us, because our fanatical politicians, activists, and gatekeeping bureaucrats have blocked us from refining and transporting our own oil and gas. So that's why we give it to the Americans at a huge discount from which they profit massively. If he wants to stop that arrangement, he would kill thousands of American jobs and drive up U.S. gas prices. So I think I can very easily convince him that it is in his interest to keep the border open to trade. The bottom line is President Trump wants to put America first. I want to put Canada first. The good news is that our countries share common interests and values, so both of us can win. And Canada will win when I'm Prime Minister, because we will have a strong leader who has the brains and backbone to defend our country.
If you can't convince Trump, would retaliatory tariffs be on the table? And what about Doug Ford's idea to cut off electrical supplies to the U.S.?
Well, of course, we'd have to respond. And that's why I would say to President Trump, why would you want this? You know, a strong Canada will make for a stronger America. We need to unite to confront common threats like interference by Beijing, unfair trade practices from China, terrorist threat from Iran. All of those things require a strong Canada and a strong America. So the other thing I would do is I'd axe the carbon tax, because, you know, NDP and Liberals want to quadruple this tax to 61 cents a liter. That's going to drive hundreds of billions of dollars of our jobs, our trucks, and our businesses out of the country into the arms of Donald Trump. But we need to elect a common sense conservative government that will axe taxes, remove bureaucracy, unleash our economy to once again produce powerful paychecks for our people on this side of the border.
Do you approve of Doug Ford's push in the U.S. to drive the issue of tariffs? If you become Prime Minister, would you want to see Ford continue to push in the U.S.?
Sure, we need all Canadians to push our agenda, our pro-Canada, Canada First agenda in the States. But I think the problem is Trudeau and the NDP Liberal government in Ottawa is so weak and chaotic that the premiers have had no choice but to replace the normal role of the federal government in performing diplomacy, border control, and many other federal responsibilities. What we have right now is a Trudeau NDP Liberal government that has totally lost control of everything. They've lost control of borders, immigration, spending, debt, inflation, housing costs, crime, drugs, and now Trudeau's lost control of his cabinet. We need a new government that will take back control of our borders and immigration, take back control of spending, inflation, crime, and I am the leader who has the strength and the smarts to do that. So now let's call an election so Canadians can bring it home.
Have you reached out to Donald Trump to try and secure a meeting?
No.
What about Jagmeet Singh? Have you reached out to him to see if you could secure his support on a non-confidence motion?
Yes, I've been constantly reaching out to him every day in Parliament. We've been sending the message. In fact, I took a very unprecedented and nonpartisan step of quoting Jagmeet Singh's criticisms of Justin Trudeau in a motion of non-confidence. So I took Mr. Singh's words where he said that Trudeau was weak and greedy, and I put that right in the text of a Conservative non-confidence motion, and then Jagmeet Singh sold out and voted against his own words in order to keep Trudeau in power. And the problem we're dealing with here, of course, is Singh is trying to delay the election until February of next year when he qualifies for his $2.2 million pension. So here we are, this ridiculous situation where our country is paralyzed by chaos and anarchy because Jagmeet Singh wants his pension. One man is keep holding 41 million Canadians hostage. So we need to fire both Singh and Trudeau in a carbon tax election and elect common sense Conservatives who will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime.
It's a very simple slogan, axe the tax, but for a lot of people it feels like affordability is a very complicated issue. Beyond axing the tax, how do you fix the affordability crisis? Or is it that simple?
The cause is government, 100% government. Food prices have risen 36% faster in Canada than in the United States over the last 3 years, a gap that has opened and widened as the carbon tax, supported by both NDP and Liberals, has applied to the farmers and truckers who bring us our food. Then you have the more than $700 billion of money printing deficits. Well, when you print money, you bid up the cost of all the goods. It's more money chasing fewer goods, which always equals higher prices. So we have to slash bureaucracy, fire these high-priced consultants, cut corporate welfare and foreign aid to bring down deficits, inflation, and interest rates and income taxes. And that's what I mean when I say fix the budget. Don't just fix the budget so the accountants are happy. Fix the budget so that we can protect our money against inflation caused by government.
Last question for you, sir, on housing. A lot of people in their 30s and 40s with young families are concerned that they'll never be able to afford a home. How quickly do you think you could make housing affordable again if you're elected Prime Minister?
Well, immediately I will axe the GST on new homes. That will save up to $50,000 for a new home purchase. I'll also push the provinces to match that, which would increase the savings to well over $100,000 a home. I will incentivize municipalities to speed up permits, free up land, and cut development charges so that we can build 15% more homes per year every single year. The number one cost in a new home is government. A third of the cost of a new home is just direct taxes. Then another third, roughly, is the zoning consultants, lawyers, accountants, lobbyists that you have to hire in order to get your permit. If we slashed through that, then we could have far more affordable housing like they do in the United States. Look, you can buy a castle in Texas for $400,000. In Canada, you're lucky if you can buy a condo for that price. So what's the difference? They have far more people, far less land. And the difference is that you can get a permit very easily and with very little tax. If we did the same, we'd have incredibly affordable homes. But after 9 years of Trudeau and the NDP Liberals, housing costs have doubled in Canada and they have tripled in Hamilton. So let's fire the NDP Liberals who caused the problems, axe the taxes, slash the bureaucracy, build the homes.
That's federal Conservative Leader Pierre Poilievre. Mr. Poilievre, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, sir.